Alright, start off today. I gotta go take the parts to Jerry to get painted. I'm gonna get the paint coat off of it. Let's go out here and see where the paint coat is on this Zion. Stewie, where's the paint coat? It's in the door frame? Oh, the trunk. You don't know. I'm gonna see if I can fit all these parts into the Kia. I don't really want to take my truck today, but I'm not sure if I went through the primer on this in some spots. Jerry will have a look at it and tell me. He knows better than I do. The paint coat is in the driver's side door jamb. From what I read online, it should have a, this might be it here, C/TR. That's it right here. So this is the paint code. I think it's just a coincidence that the grease and wax remover stuff that I use has a Scion on the bottle. Yeah! See, I use that Rust-Oleum stuff because some grease and wax removers are strong and they eat through spray paint or spray primer or whatever. This stuff's gentler, and I've never had a problem with it. So this is what I use since I use spray cans on a lot of stuff, and it works out good for me. It's definitely looking like it's going to be a while before I get these parts back, obviously. He's got a lot of work here. He's got 3 smashed cars here, the parts everywhere. So, my parts are not priority. So, whenever they get done, they get done. But at least they're here. Alright, so on to the Infiniti. I have one thing, it's just me routing a wire. This is a TPS sensor because I had a slow leak pretty much every tire. So I went around and tightened up all the sensors, and that back one in the back corner, when I tightened it up, it like snapped, but it's not leaking, but now it's not reading. So I need to replace that with this. And then I have gears for in the driver's seat, because the seat won't go forward and backwards, and I believe that is this. Yes, 2 sets of gears with spacers, and these are for the seat motor to go forward and backwards. The motor runs when you push it, it goes like it's like the gears stripped out. And of course these are plastic, so I mean that's a common issue. And that's what we're going to do on that. First I need to do the tire, which I left myself a lot of room there. And then we'll come back and get these gears put in. Alright, now we're going to go out to my buddy's place, slap this in. I don't even have to take the tire off the rim. All you got to do is break it down. I'm going to hold this in the bead breaker right here, change it out, and then we're good to go. So, funny thing happened the other day. I didn't tell you guys about. When I was taking the Mini out to the enhanced inspection station to drop it off, a squirrel ran out in front of me, and I thought, "Oh crap! I'm gonna total the Mini again!" And I did hit him on accident. I tried to miss him. He was scattering back and forth and didn't know where to go. So, poor boy didn't make it. And the Mini survived. Just so you know. Yeah, I said my buddy has a powder coating business. This is one of his shops here. As you can see, he's doing some plates. This is an oven. It's like a small apartment. It has a track system. It's pretty neat. It just wheels everything in to the oven and bakes it and then pulls it back out. Yeah, it's a pretty neat setup. Hey boy, he got dust everywhere. Look at his tire machine. I'll have one someday. Now, I don't need to use this whole machine. I just need to use the bead breaker here. And I'll get the bead broke and have that hold it in while I put the sensor in it. And then I'll show you what it looks like. I can't really record. I didn't bring my tripod, so I can't really record me doing it. But yeah, I'll show you steps. So it came out in 3 pieces. But basically, so you take everything off the end of it, put this on the inside, and then tighten it up, and this rubber seal will seal it against that surface. Alright, so now I'm not sure. I'm gonna probably have to reset the tire pressure sensors. We'll get into that later. I need to get the seat door apart. And I think it's gonna be a PETA. The motor's back here. I'm basically just gonna unbolt the seat and lift it up so I have room to work. I see the seat hasn't gotten any worse. That's nice. Anyways, here's what it's doing. Motor's working, just not going anywhere. So that's what we gotta fix. Well, unfortunately, with the seat being stuck back where it's at, I can't get to those bolts back here. So we are just gonna have to work with what we got here, and if I can get a shot of it, I'll show you. But I do have play in the seat now, so I'm gonna wedge something underneath there to let's see. Seat does go up too, which will help. I don't think that gave me enough room in the back. I better check. No, it didn't help because the rails are over top of the covers. I can't get them off. But that gave me some room, so let me see what I'm working with. Okay, so let me show you the fun here. Okay, this is the motor right here. You can see it right there. And it has a shaft that runs out to a gear that is in this rail, and that is the gear that needs replaced. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me move this light over. This shaft in there is spinning inside of the rail, so that's where the gear's at. Now just to figure out how to get that out. I can see 2 bolts on top of that. Definitely the rail is going to have to come down out. Whether I can get it off or not, I can see 3 bolts from here. The ones in the back are not visible. I may have to take the back of the seat off. It might give me enough room to get in there and unbolt the rail from there. But the seat's not coming out, obviously, because the back is still bolted down. So it'd be a lot easier if I could just unbolt that. I'm gonna let me go to the back, see what I can do, and see if I can get that out. Alright, so that should make for a much easier repair. It's just, oh yeah, that's much better. Alright, so this makes it a lot easier. There is a corkscrew gear on the end of the motor. That's not the one that's stripped. It runs the gears that I got, which are in the rail itself. That's what's stripped. I believe so. Does it run one on the other side too? Oh no. Oh no. Well, that sucks. It's not the gear. This piece is supposed to be, and you see it's busted off, it's supposed to hold that gear in place down on that drive gear. And as you can see, that has not been meshed with those gears for a while because that plate wasn't holding it down tight, so it was just running along the top of it. Now I need to find something or somehow to get that to stay down in there. This is where that's supposed to be riding, and it's just, yeah, that's a negative. So both of these, this cage setup on the inside of these that the gear runs, they're busted. There's like a cage around it, and the cage is busted. I don't know if I can weld it back together. I was looking online. I cannot find anything for these. This one's busted on the inside. The other one's busted on the outside. It's just, this is a mess. Sure it is. Alright, so we got these cages all welded up. I put welds across the top, some on the sides there. Welded that plate together. I confirmed that I can spin these. These gears were tight at first, but then they loosened up. That's what she said! Yeah, I went over, because it had been stuck like this for a while now. So the gears were kind of grody. They're working good now. I did put clean the sliders and put moly grease in it. I didn't think to put it in that gear. So I'm gonna pack that gear with moly grease, which is a high tension grease for like heavy duty. I use it on my lift in the sliders. Gotta pack these with that, and then throw them back in the seat. You can see I had to disassemble. I had to get this whole motor assembly here out of the way so that I could get this one nut out, because you can't get to it. Now I can slap this whole thing back together. I'm kind of scared because, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna hold or not. Kind of scared about that, but having both sides welded is better than just doing one, obviously. So I guess we'll get this back together, see how it turns out. You can't just buy these sliders, or I would. I've been looking, and if I could have just bought these, I would have did that already, but it's just, no. You have to buy basically the whole seat bottom, and it's like $150, and yeah, if it comes to it and I have to, I will, but I really don't want to, so. Let me slap this back together. Okay, moment of truth. Everything's plugged in. Oh, not sounding good, but nevertheless, it's working. Hopefully, that'll hold for a while. I'm going to work this seat a good bit here, and hopefully it'll stay working and good. As of right now, I'm not putting extra pressure on it, so I'm not going to sit in the seat and do this. But it's working. Here, I thought I had a weak motor because it was going forward and backwards real slow. I had to loosen up some mounts to get, because it was binding. Now that I started it up, this thing works perfect. It was going so slow before. That's awesome. And I even sat in it and it moved it, even though I was worried about it. So, that's great. Last thing I have to do, you see that wire, it runs up through here. And it runs up to the front where I have, well, where did it go? Hold on a second. This microphone. And what I want to do is I want to route it back along the back. I'm going to take it along the headliner and then mount it up here in the front. Because of me putting that aftermarket box in the back so that I can connect Bluetooth and listen to my music. Since you're connected to that box and not the stereo, this is what you talk through when you answer the phone and stuff. So I'll probably just do that off camera. Alright guys, so it is a couple days later, and I had to order a special tool. I put that tire pressure sensor in, could not program it. My computer can put me in the sensor register mode, but I could not register it. There's no way to do it. You had to buy one of these, and this was about 50 bucks. This is the cheapest one I could find. Same brand as the one I got for the GM, but this will do all of them. This is supposedly would do almost every car from 2007 under that has tire pressure sensors. So I bought this, went out there, pleasantly surprised that it worked, and my tire pressure sensor is now programmed. So we'll come out here and I'll show you the process. I'm not redoing it, because it takes a couple minutes. You have to have the car on. I'm not going to do it right now, but you put it into, you find Infiniti on the scanner, and then once it gets in the register mode, you start on this tire, then do that one, and that one. And all you do is hit this button. As you can see, it turns it on, and you hold it next to the tire where the valve's at, and you got to hold it there for about, I don't know, 15-20 seconds. Then the lights will flash. Then you go do that one, and so on and so forth. And then when you're done, as you can see, all your tire pressure sensors register, and you're good. Just wanted to show you guys the part number and the brand. I got this on Amazon, and it took like 2 days to get it. So that was kind of convenient. There's still some things I want to do on this, but it's not going to happen right now. Next video, we are going to take a trip to the auction yard, and it is going to be cold as balls there. It's supposed to be single digits that day. We're getting our taxes done. I'm not going to make it before the auction. I'm not bidding, but I just want to go look around. So if you guys want to see an auction video, one's coming up, and I hope you guys are excited for it. I just went to my merch page today. Teespring made it simple for us to update the prices on our items now. I have not been selling anything, like nothing. I've sold nothing. So I went through and drastically dropped the prices on almost every item in my Teespring store. So if you want to get some merch, right now is the time. I make next to nothing on everything. I just kind of want to get myself out there. So if you want some Unwrecked merch, go to my Teespring page and get yourself some merch right now. But if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, then you can just get the... And as always, we'll see you in the next episode of Unwrecked.